Season 2, The Rise of the Harbinger, Episode 1, Whispers in the Fog. The swamp wrapped itself in silence, save for the occasional splash of water or the faint rustle of leaves. The Mapogo brothers had retreated to an abandoned fishing cabin deep in the bayou, a place forgotten by time and safe, for now, from prying eyes. The battle with the Reapers had left them bloodied and broken, and Vulture's betrayal still hung heavy in the air. Lion sat on a wooden crate outside the cabin, the faint glow of his cigar illuminating his gray beard. His piercing light brown eyes scanned the misty water, his expression unreadable. Rhino leaned against the porch railing, his massive arms crossed, his scarred neck a grim reminder of the dangers they faced. "You think he coming back?" Rhino asked, breaking the silence. Lion exhaled slowly, the smoke curling into the humid air. No, Vulture made his choice. Panther stepped out of the cabin, his black clothing blending with the shadows. In his hand was a knife, the blade catching the faint moonlight as he worked it over a whetstone. "We don't have time to worry on Vulture," he said, his tone sharp. "The Harbinger's already moving. Word is, they've got someone new pulling strings in the swamp." Inside, Turtle was hunched over his laptop, his fingers flying across the keyboard. The glow of the screen lit up his face, his eyes darting between multiple open tabs. "The Black Tides," Turtle said, his voice carrying through the open door. "They've been taking over Reaper turf, and they're not playing around. This isn't a gang, it's an army." Lion stubbed out his cigarette, standing slowly. "Then we find their leader, and we stop this before it spreads. Specter." The whispers of the Black Tides came with a name, Specter. Specter was more myth than man to those who feared him. A former mercenary with a reputation for precision, he had risen to power as the enforcer for cartels in South America. But after a botched operation that left him wounded and abandoned, Specter vanished. Now he had reappeared in Louisiana, backed by the Harbinger and building an empire of his own. Specter is wiry and ghost-like, his pale skin and sharp features earning him his moniker. A milky white eye and deep facial scars make him a chilling figure to behold. Methodical and calculating, Specter doesn't waste words or actions. He thrives on control, orchestrating chaos from the shadows. Unlike others who crave power, Specter desires absolute order, seeing himself as the only one capable of taming the swamp. Episode 2, The Fog of Betrayal. Big Lou's Bar was a relic of a bygone era, a dimly lit haven for those looking to escape the world. It sat at the edge of the bayou, its creaky floors and faded wallpaper telling stories of better days. For the Mapogo, it was a place of refuge and information. Lou stood behind the bar, his massive hands cleaning a glass as he watched the brothers enter. His thick gray beard framed a face lined with age and experience, his sharp eyes betraying a sharp mind beneath his calm demeanor. "You boys look like hell," Lou said, his deep voice echoing in the empty room. "What brings you here?" "Trouble," Lion replied, his tone clipped. Lou gestured to a table in the corner. "Then let's sit." The brothers followed him, their presence filling the small space with tension. Lou poured himself a drink, his movements slow and deliberate. "You're here about the Black Tides, aren't you?" Lou asked, settling into a chair. Lion nodded. "What you know about them?" Lou sighed, rubbing a hand over his beard. "They're not like the Reapers. These guys are organized, disciplined, and they've got resources I haven't seen in years. Whoever's running them knows what they're doing." "Specter," Panther said, his voice low. Lou's eyes narrowed. "That's the name going around. Used to be a big deal in the cartel world. Heard he disappeared after some job went sideways. Now he's back, and he's got the Harbinger behind him." Turtle leaned forward. "What can you tell us about the Harbinger?" Lou shook his head. "Not much. No one knows who they are. All I know is they've got deep pockets and connections in places you wouldn't believe. You're not just fighting a gang, you're fighting a machine." Lion's jaw tightened. "Where can we find Specter?" Lou hesitated, his gaze shifting between the brothers. "He's holed up at the old sugar mill, but if you're thinking of going after him, you'd better be ready. That place is locked down tight." Lion stood, his expression grim. "We'll handle it.